Kenny Dalglish has walked out on league champions and league leaders Liverpool. The pressure was too much as the manager of the year. We have the reaction to that extraordinary announcement, and we assess what's in store for the future at Anfield. Also in today's show, we preview Sheffield Wednesday's bid to reach Wembley tomorrow. They face Chelsea in the Rumbelows Cup semi-final. And we look forward to ITV's big fight tonight. Chris Eubank's first defence of his world title against Canadian Dan Sherry.
Sherry.
Good afternoon.
Good day, folks. Now, let's get one thing straight. Publicly.
Yeah.
Are you interested in the job?
Well, if I went, I'd have to take you with me, old boy.
I know, that's what worries me. And I demand a new teapot if we do go, because I need to make the tea correct.
Well, plenty of cups for you to drink right up there. Well, there's no football off to Jim.
No,
that's good news today.
It's incredible,
no pictures off, yeah. Right, now we'll go to this story about the resignation of Kenny Dalglish. The league champions and league leaders by 3 points are due at Kenilworth Road this afternoon for their final appointment with that dreaded plastic pitch. But they've been stunned by the departure of the manager of 5.5 years. Jim Rosenthal has been getting first reaction from the team preparing at Luton. Clive Tilsley's been out and about in Liverpool. And Matt Tyler starts our report with a look at the events leading up to yesterday's shock announcement.
Kenny Dalglish has enjoyed a 14-year love affair with Liverpool. His European Cup winning goal against Bruges, the outstanding highlight of a brilliant playing career. His success as Liverpool manager. Since taking over after the Heysel disaster in '85, Dalglish led them to a magnificent league and cup double in his first season. Since then, they've won the Championship twice, the FA Cup once, and Dalglish himself has been Manager of the Year on 3 occasions. They're impressive statistics. No wonder Dalglish has become an expert at cracking open the champagne over the last decade or so. Liverpool are on course for more silverware this year. Another league and cup double is still a possibility, although Everton will have other ideas in the cup, while Arsenal are their main championship rivals. Liverpool have been beaten in the league only twice. One of those defeats came at Highbury, where Dalglish's controversial decision to play 5 at the back couldn't stop the Gunners putting 3 past Grobbelaar. Dalglish also had to watch from that familiar position as his side suffered another defeat in London. This time it was Crystal Palace who took the points, allowing Arsenal to close the gap at the top and set up another potentially thrilling end to the season.
It's in there!
Recently, the Liverpool manager has been criticised for leaving England international Peter Beardsley out of the team. It's been a situation highlighted by Beardsley's ability to make his mark when Dalglish has finally decided to use him.
Now Ablett. Beardsley up alongside him, and so too is Rush. It's there for Beardsley!
With the end of the season just 3 months away, Dalglish's decision to retire a week before his 40th birthday took the football world completely by surprise. He gave his reasons for leaving at a press conference yesterday.
I've been in the front line and for 20 years, and it's just really a result of 20 years active involvement in football at a very high and successful level that really kind of reached the person has pushed himself to the limit.
What did you try to do to dissuade him?
Everything possible, but not only dissuade him, but also to attempt to ask him to sort of, could he, carry on for a short while towards the end of the season.
Did you offer him a break with a chance to come back?
Yes, but he made the point it wouldn't work. If Kenny was missing from the game at Luton, he wouldn't, there'd be speculation where he was then.
Well, he completely fooled me and Roy. We were with him a lot, and he never gave no impression he was going to pack in or the pressure was getting to him.
The first task for Ronnie Moran and his boot-room partner Roy Evans was to supervise a training session at Luton yesterday. A private session besieged by the kind of press and media attention that Dalglish finally got a bellyful of. Peter Beardsley's uncertain role in Kenny's recent plans became a focal point for his critics in print and in the crowd. But as they left Kenilworth Road for the sanctuary of their hotel, all the players were quick to play down any suggestion of a dressing room revolt.
The man had a job to do and he did it to the best of his ability and what he thought was right at the time. Yeah, I've never ever said a bad word about him, and I won't start now.
Do you feel, though, that the criticism about you and about you not being in the team might have been a reason for him going?
Well, I hope not. I mean, didn't give that idea today. I hope not. I mean, because I would never want to. I mean, as a fella, I got on with him great. The only sort of beef I had was not being in the team, which is a beef that anybody would have in my position. At the end of the day, it's been hard for him because people have been, in many ways, getting on my side, trying to say I should be in the team, which has been nice for me, but obviously that hasn't helped his situation.
We have our arguments in the dressing room, as every club does. Nothing's gone overboard, and everyone's still speaking to each other. The lads are baffled by what the gaffer's done, but it's nothing to do with what's going on in the dressing room whatsoever.
I mean, nothing different than you've experienced in your 10 years at Liverpool?
No, it's probably been a bit milder this time than anything. We've had a lot bigger fights over the years in the dressing rooms, so it can't be anything to do with that, I wouldn't think.
The atmosphere in the club has been brilliant. I mean, he's been one of the lads, as he always has been, for sort of the 3.5 years I've been here. Nothing's changed as far as that's concerned. The only difference is we haven't probably played as well as we would have liked.
Well, he's one of the most successful managers in English history. You know, in the short time that he has been a manager. A very strong man. And maybe that had something to do with it, I don't know. You know, he was his own man, wanted to do everything his own way, and he got success from it.
The list of candidates favours an Anfield who's who. Outsiders needn't apply. Graham Souness, John Toshak and Phil Neal have the managerial track records. But the favourites are those who are still inside the track. Captain Alan Hansen, reserve coach Phil Thompson and acting manager Ronnie Moran. The bookies' odds-on choice.
Odds-on job for the job? Well, I don't know. Again, I've got to wait and see what happens. I mean, the chairman's told me to take over the team selection at the moment, and then I've got to wait and see how things go on. And I mean, I've been at the club since I've left school, and I've been offered jobs right throughout, and I've got on with each job I've done, and I've had success with it. Well, who knows what can happen in this? I mean, it's entirely down to the players.
He knows the ins and outs of football. He's been there for 30 years or something like that, 40 years, I don't know. And he knows the ins and outs of Liverpool Football Club and football in general. I don't think he'd have any problems whatsoever if he did get the job.
Moran has the players backing then. Noel White says he's in charge for the foreseeable future. As long as that short-term future's a successful one, he's the man who best fits the chairman's bill.
Well, obviously we'd like to continue the tradition and the accepted and successful one of promoting from our own inside the club. Whether it's possible, we'll have to examine that one in the next few days.
Inside the club or somebody who's been inside the club?
Well, let's leave it there for the moment. That's where we think at the moment. Possibly someone from inside the club. There may be one or two others come into the reckoning.
Have you got a clear idea in your own mind as to what management team you would like to take Liverpool on from here?
No, we haven't. We're not that far along that road there, Clive.
I've worked with some great managers. They've won a lot of things, and I've learned things off them, and I've got my own ideas. And again, I've got to stress, it's the reaction of the players. If I can get the players in the right frame of mind, and they'll do the job on the pitch. I'm hoping.
Well, it's interesting what Ronnie was saying, but it's amazing with Kenny is that if the pressure was too great, I mean, if he was losing it, he was questioning himself, as he's already said. And if it was the end of the road for him and he felt that way, one's got to respect his decision, even though it is the middle of February and not May, as everybody would like it to be.
Well, people want him to go on simply because they want, Liverpool fans obviously want to see the club carry on, stay at the top and stay in the cup. But if things were caving in on him,
that's right,
as obviously they have been, Jimmy, then
that's right.
I think he's quite entitled to say enough's enough.
I think absolutely, and I think he's made the right decision if that's how he feels. I mean, he has been under enormous pressure. He must have been to have made the decision, particularly, as we say, in the middle of February. But I'm sure it's the right decision in the context of how he's made it.
Yeah, John Barnes was saying that he's a very private person, and we know that from our dealings with the media with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps everything to himself, and that is maybe the problem, Jim. I think some managers are very outgoing, they're very chatty, they like to talk. Kenny didn't.
Kenny always found it very difficult to deal with the media. We know that. He found it difficult to handle people like you and I who have been in the game. It was always a difficult one for him, and I'm sure that added to his pressure, definitely.
Well, let's look at the candidates that have been put forward. The Ronnie Moran, obvious choice, been at the club all that time. I mean, you know, Bob Paisley didn't want the job after Shanked it and became the most successful manager ever, so maybe Ronnie could do the same. Phil Thompson looks after the reserves.
That's right. Alan Hansen, who we understand Kenny favours a little bit, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Well,
Dalglish?
Big Alan, you know, I think was going to stay in the game anyway, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe on the coaching side or whatever. And he's very affable, big fella, knows the game as well. So, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad choice from within the club.
No, it's a fair choice.
Now, of the others, John Toshak, I was speaking to last night over in Spain there.
He's 10-1.
Yes, now the Tosh said he wouldn't close the door on talking to Liverpool, but there's a little problem there that Sociedad have offered him a contract starting in June, and he's accepted that for 5 years, so he said that could be a slight problem, but not insurmountable.
Phil Neal's done very well at Bolton.
He has.
He's at 12-1. Then there's Glyn Hussein at 50,000 to 1 and Saddam Hussein at 50 million to 1. And of course, you must remember that there's Emlyn Hughes, you know.
In the background.
In the background.
Yeah.
Don't know how far.
Whatever happens, let us just say, I think that we would like Kenny to enjoy his retirement for how long it takes. Get out on the golf course, Kenny, and get away from the pressures of it all.
I think that's it. Don't call it retirement because, you know, maybe he'll want to come back. But there's one important question. Who's going to get Kenny's anorak?
I'll get him to send it on to you, Joe. Right, time for some action now as we catch up on some of the top league fixtures this week. We feature Sheffield Wednesday in part 2, but here with the other action is Mark Tyler.
A goalless first half at Ayresome Park gave no hint of the excitement and controversy to follow. Bernie Slaven gave Borough the lead 6 minutes after the break when he turned Colin Walsh's powerful cross past Mel Rees. But if the home side thought the points were secure, West Brom had other ideas. 2 Gary Bannister goals in the space of just 5 minutes turned the game on its head and exposed Borough's defensive weaknesses. Bannister's second strike illustrating the perfect execution in a one-on-one situation and giving the travelling fans something to sing about after the club's recent traumas. But the celebrations didn't last long. Robbie Mustoe popped up 13 minutes from time to blast home a close-range equaliser past Rees. No complaints from the keeper then, but there were plenty when Middlesbrough snatched the late winner. He seemed to have control of the corner, but lost his footing and then crashed over the line, taking the ball with him. An angry reaction from Rees, more in frustration than anything else, but the goal stood and Middlesbrough's 3-2 victory had given them 3 more vital promotion points as the battle for those places in the First Division hots up. At the Goldstone ground, Brighton kept pace with the leaders as they extended their winning sequence. Mike Small's 19th goal of the season opened the scoring against the latest victims, Leicester City. It took Brighton another 59 minutes to score again, this time in unusual circumstances. Codner obstructed just 10 yards out, leaving the Leicester team to form their wall on the line. Dean Wilkins' powerful shot beat them all. Super sub Brian Wade, on for Small, rounded off the scoring when Burns' shot rebounded off Muggleton. It's Wade's 6th goal in 6 games and one reason why Barry Lloyd's team are looking good at the top of the table. When Ian Benjamin shot 3rd Division leaders Southend into a 26th minute lead at Roots Hall, it seemed as if Reading's steady climb towards the end of season playoffs would come to a temporary halt. But the second half was packed full of excitement and surprises. Nifty footwork on the left and a first-time cross allowed Steve Moran to put Reading back on level terms 9 minutes after the break with a close-range shot. 10 minutes from time, the home supporters were stunned into complete silence as the visitors snatched an unexpected winner. It came from the boot of talented Ruud Gullit lookalike Danny Bailey. The Dutchman himself couldn't have finished any better and helped to repay part of Bailey's recent £60,000 transfer fee from Exeter City.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was a nightmare. So I was sat there with the vice-chairman and it was 1-1 and I said, I can't see us scoring Southend. And he said, no, if anyone's going to score, it's going to be them. And just as he said it, the boy Bailey hit it in the back of the net. Yeah. And the chairman turned and he went, it's you two fault, he said, it's your fault. So we got the blame for it.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll take a break now. In part 2, we feature Sheffield Wednesday. We'll look at the 4th round of the Scottish Cup and we preview the Eubank World title fight tonight on ITV. Don't go away.
And he lost it, the Everton skipper. Rush in on Southall. And off the line brilliantly by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley, and it's deflected off the goalkeeper and into the other corner. Hinchcliffe. Sharp! Yes! Robillard had hands on it, but couldn't stop it going home. Barrow's having to go back a long way, and look how Liverpool are being harried. But they still keep their cool. This is Beardsley. It's still Beardsley! Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Peter Beardsley! And that's a miss by Nicol! And Sharp scores his second too. Rush in front of the goalkeeper. Played back again to Mulvey. On by Rush. He's done it again. His 24th goal against Everton. Southall was removed into the last minutes. Ablett wins it. Down to McDonald. Not sure that Tony Cotty's had a touch yet. He might get one now! Waiting, one of them is Hussein, and it's in from John Barnes. Newell. Hinchcliffe. Cotty! Unbelievable! Liverpool
snatching the winner 9 minutes from the end after catching the Wednesday defence in complete disarray once again. So 2 successive defeats at a crucial time of the season. Not good news for manager Ron Atkinson.
Obviously a crucial point now, 2 semi-finals in the space of 4 or 5 days. What we do know is no way in the world can we play as badly as we did in our last cup contest.
How is that result against Cambridge going to affect the way that the lads play against Chelsea?
I've no idea. You can bet money, whatever the score is against Chelsea, we'll play a downside better than we did in that. We were awful.
But if there's one man who can take Wednesday to Wembley and the First Division, it's David Hirst, a striker who this season has developed into one of the league's most feared goal scorers.
Yeah, it's the best ever season in football, really. I mean, the goals don't really stop going in.
What's the main reason for this prolific season for you, do you think?
Like I say, I think they're going in. I mean, the seasons beforehand, I've been hitting the woodwork, the keepers have saved them, and this season they're just going in.
How's your game changed, do you think, over the last 2 or 3 years, since you've been at Wednesday under Ron Atkinson and since Trevor Francis has been here?
I think on the ball itself, I've calmed down. Instead of rushing passes and such things, I think I've steadied down a little bit more with a little bit more age on my shoulders, and it's going good.
He's got great strength. He's unorthodox. He's unorthodox sometimes to the point he drives you up the wall. I mean, when balls are fed into him, he's got this super knack of turning with a ball, and if it comes off, you know, it's brilliant. You know, we accept it as a brilliant skill. That's something I can remember Mark Hughes as a younger player having as well.
Atkinson sees Chelsea's main threat tomorrow coming from in-form frontmen Jury and Dixon, but he's hoping Wednesday can approach the tie in the right frame of mind.
I mean, we've been quite relaxed in our cup matches. In fact, we were half asleep, as I say, against Cambridge. But in the other games, the games against Coventry and Derby, we've been very relaxed, gone into them with a good open mind. What I do hope, and what we'll try and preach to the players, is they don't freeze on semi-finals. You know, just treat it as something to be enjoyed and make them realise just how close they are to the real big one.
And hopefully down at Stamford Bridge we can get a great result and take it back to Hillsborough and finish it off.
Well, do you think they can finish it off, Jim?
I fancy Chelsea myself. Who do you fancy?
Well, Wednesday, funnily enough, I think raised their game the better the opposition and not Coventry out in the last round. So I've got a little sneaky feeling that the Wednesday could do it, yes.
Oh, right.
Now, you're working tomorrow on the Leeds-Manchester United game live.
Yeah.
No, you will also be picking the man of the match.
I know I'm picking the man of the match award, and after your little escapade with Alex Ferguson, I'm keeping well away from him. I shall be dodging him the whole of the afternoon, don't worry.
Make sure you pick a United player that'll be after you.
Well, I shall pick my player and do a runner, as usual.
But it should be 2 cracking games. Right, now the Scottish Cup 4th round takes place this afternoon, with Ross County and Meadowbank still waiting to stage their 3rd round clash. Now, the news of that tie today is that's definitely
That's lovely.
on.
The iceberg's melted and the tide's gone out. And there they are, they can play today. That's
wonderful for them to actually get a game. But don't forget, of course, that they beat Alloa and Queen in the South, Ross County,
oh, yes.
previous round.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
I mean, they could do some damage.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'll be a draw today.
And they'll be keyed up for it. Let's have a look at the other ties there in the fourth round.
Yeah.
Nothing really outstanding, Jim, is it?
No, you've got to back Cowdenbeath to beat Rangers.
Yes.
And the Ackies, obviously, my team, I'd like to see. And obviously St Mirren will beat Celtic.
That game's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's a Premier game, and the St Johnstone Hibs, the other Premier tie on that. But other than that, I would see Motherwell getting through, Jim. I'd like to see Motherwell.
Yeah, your old side should make it, yes.
Keep your fingers crossed for that. Right, well, Hearts went out to Airdrie in round 3, and Dundee United faced Jim Bowen's men today, having been beaten by Hearts last Saturday.
The header, great save by Nicky Walker, and the ball forced over the line by John Clark. The free kick coming in from the left, the header from Clark, great save by Walker. Now it was Clark who had got in the initial header, forcing the ball over the line. Harrison to Robertson, good play by Hearts, John Robertson! John Robertson gets his 11th goal of the season. And the ball's in the net, and it's Alan McLaren's header. 1 minute to go, and a dramatic winner surely from Alan McLaren.
A much needed win, Jim, for the Hearts.
Indeed, with old Joe Jordan up there, yes.
Yeah, not been going too